Thanks. Right.
There, you're live.
Thanks very much, Kayla. And if everybody's okay, let's call the meeting to order then at 9 a.m. So first of all, the approval of the agenda is, can we agree that this is the subject of the day? Everybody agree?
Yep.
Brian?
Jeremy,
Right, yes.
can we add under new business? It says rental rates there. I'm assuming that it's a little more encompassing than rental rates. We're supposed to be talking about a potential laptop purchase and the rental program. So I'm assuming that that's covering all of that.
Well, actually, Brian, there was a newer one that you may not have printed off, but it's added is a laptop computer for rental business. That's 8.2.
Okay, and can I suggest 8.3, a follow-up discussion from the May 19th meeting around the agreement?
Okay, that'd be 8.4 because 8.3 is actually the community church, and just a quick topic on that, but sure. 8.4 then, Kayla, can we add that, please?
Yep, absolutely.
Thank you. Good, so that, can we move then to accept that agenda? Sorry,
Yep, just need a first and a seconder.
okay, so Anthony and good, pair, thank you very much. Great, okay, so what about disqualification and of self-interest and anything we're talking about? Anybody, any declarations there? Yeah, there being none.
Yep.
Call it good. And fourthly, approval of the minutes then. I'm not sure if you all had a chance to read those through, but can we get a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting?
I never received the minutes from May the 19th.
Sorry, say that again, Brian.
I never received the minutes from May 19th meeting. I have them for the May the 5th, but not for the 19th.
No. We're locked.
Ah. Kayla, do you know that?
Did everybody else get them?
I think I did. I got the old minutes as well.
I usually send it with the agenda meeting notice. Let me take a look.
The minutes that went out with today's agenda were the May the 5th minutes, not the 19th.
I have a feeling I had read through all of that, and there was quite a long discussion on that meeting.
Oh, I think you guys are right.
Okay, so
We can skip that. I can add that to the next meeting and I'll send those out today. Sorry about that, guys.
Is there a substance of that that you need to refer to, Brian, for the 8.4 discussion? So should we get them in front of us?
Well, yeah, it would help having them in front of us so people could, review what we discussed at the time. I think we can still have some discussion though. Everyone has a copy of the agreement, I believe. So we could have some discussion at this meeting and then maybe follow up in July.
And maybe if we could ask Kayla, she might be able to just do a quick email out to us now so that we could have them ready when we're at
Okay,
that
you got
point.
it.
Yep, they're sent.
Good. Okay, good.
So let me remove that off of the approval of the minutes. I'm going to remove that right from the agenda. But they should be sent there to you now for your review for reference to today.
Okay. To be reviewed and approved later. All right. So then, since there's no minutes to discuss at this point, then arising from those minutes, can we jump into the financial report, Brian, that you sent out last night? Thank you for sending it. It was it's good to have it. You can have a little look in advance.
Oui, c'était le tout l'attend.
So at the bottom, our net income says minus 6,409.20. That's simply because we haven't received anything much in the way of income since January. However, our bank balance as of May 31st, we have $6,712.45. And that, I believe, is accurate, is based on the bank reconciliations from January to the end of May. Remember that 5,000 of that is Lana's memorial. And then I projected ahead to today, and the 5,981.84 figure is based on my records since May 31st, which is the only thing that probably I don't know is the interest that we may have received and the Enbridge bill, but the Enbridge bill I don't think goes out till later in the month. So the projected expenses to the end of June is about $90. So by the end of this month, projected would have around just under $5,900 in the bank, 5,000 of which is that bequest that was given to us. So we don't have a lot of money right now. Once things open up, and I'm hoping this is something we can discuss when we get to the rentals section. I'm hoping we can be opening up September in some form and start getting some rental income coming in. But in the meantime, I think we just have to watch our expenses.
Brian has a question.
Any questions?
You have a question?
Brian, just to add to what you said, since the budget is so close to that $5,000, which was bequeathed for a purpose to the station, in order to ensure that that $5,000 remains $5,000, is there any way to set it aside so that it doesn't get whittled away on miscellaneous little expenses? And the purpose for which it was given has been lost, more or less?
I would have to open another bank account, and I'm not able to do that because it's the accounts belong to the township. The township would have to open it up. My concern with that, though, would be if we have to pay bills, we don't want our checks to bounce. And so even if we dip into that 5,000, once the rental income comes in, then we will top that back up again and maintain that amount of money. I am tracking it. We're not going to lose it, but we may need it in the next couple of months. I don't know. We're getting close to think it's, yeah, we're probably going to be dipping into it. If we're not open by September, if we don't have rentals coming in, we'll probably be dipping into that money. But once the rentals come in, such as the church starts again, they pay in advance, and the Taoists pay in advance, and E3 pays, well, then we get back into money once again. We'll restore that to the full amount. But I'm just saying right now, we have to watch our spending.
Tom,
Is
did
that-
you have a question?
Yeah. I'm just, I think the $5,000 was given to use as any way we feel necessary. I could ask the girls what their purpose was or whatever, but I think it was just given so it could help out wherever. So it's not as if it's going to be necessarily a, specific, like the door with a memorial or something like that.
Brian, would it make any sense to set up an account called reserve for this particular donation, and just set it out as an amount on the income statement? Then it's sort of front and center to everyone, and it doesn't get lost in the cash balance. It's just by setting up a new account.
I can create a new account line and include that in it. We did do a budget for the year, and it is listed in the budget there as a separate item.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, I can do that, put it on. And I realized after I did the report, I probably should have highlighted that on that report, just so that it, keep reminding people that that money is there. And Tom, I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate it in a way. One way it makes it easier, but another way we would, I think, like to be able to honor Lana and dedicate something to recognize her contributions. So whatever that might be.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be the 5,000. It could be something else that's less or whatever. I can ask the girls how they feel about it, but Lana's daughters. Anyway.
Okay.
But I agree about leaving it in the bank account to, cover anything that happens to, occur.
Oh, and talking about bank accounts, the lottery account is not closed. It is still open. And I've got the lottery bank statements now. I received them yesterday, back to January. And I was looking to see if it was closed at some point. It's still open, but the difference now is, and I think the township must have changed something with the bank, because we are now getting interest on that account, which we didn't get interest before. We're going to make about $1 a year on interest there. So there's the good news.
Good for you. Wise investor. Thank you very much, Brian. Any other questions for Brian?
Can I ask, how much is in that lottery account?
About $145.
And is there any trickle down from the Lotto Canada or Lottery Ontario or wherever it comes from into it?
No, it's not connected to them. I think that at one point it was set up as a fundraiser, some fundraising event, and they opened up the account for that purpose. And they had a license to do whatever they did, which meant that the account had to be separate and maintained. And once you open one of those, you have to get permission to close it. But I guess Clearview has decided just keep it open, and we're apparently getting interest on it now, so that's fine.
We could run one of those, pardon my appearance today, I threw my back out, so, and I apologize for being late. We could run a 50-50 draw for fundraiser, like the Blue Jays do.
And use that account. Yes, I think probably we could.
Okay, so I'm gonna file that away in my little UNIVAC here for potential fundraising, because Lord knows we need it.
Mhm.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, good thought, Patty. Okay, moving on then, building and landscape. Anthony, anything come to mind on that?
I had a conversation. Well, my wife is a member of the Hort Society, and they're not really taking care of planting beds right now. There's no access to water because of the construction going on. And also, I don't know if it came up before, but did we know if the Hort Society asked about using the station for rent for free? Has that ever come
I'm
up
having
before?
trouble hearing you, Anthony. Anybody else?
Yeah, hard to hear him.
Sorry.
Nobody heard me?
No, sorry, didn't.
Kind of broke up.
Oh, maybe it's my internet. So the Hort Society usually maintains our flower beds, but they're not working in the park right now. So they have been ignoring our flower beds. Also, for one reason, they can't access water. The water is on the side of the building that's fenced off. Also, they have inquired, as I understand, they inquired about using the station for free, and no one has gotten back to them. I don't know if this came up before I was a member. I don't remember hearing anything about this before. Does anybody recall that?
Using it for what, Anthony?
For if they just wanted to use it for a meeting or whatever. Because I know
Don't
they
they
hold,
have a plant-
they hold their
plant
meetings
sale?
at church right now, or when they were having meetings.
Hmm.
And they used to have plant sales, didn't they?
Right, they used to use but did we charge them for rental?
The Hort
I don't
Society?
know.
Person to ask is likely Sarah Hershoff, because they looked after all the rentals. She would probably know whether the Hort Society was charged or not.
I'm
I
just
think-
wondering, as
I
as,
Equivocally, that they were
taking
not
care of
charged
the
based
property.
on the agreement that they have with the town.
Yeah, I agree. I think I had seen something in one of the recent documents that Linda had sent out that it said that the Hort Society gets a free use. I'm not sure what the document was, but I do recall seeing that
Well,
point.
that was the Tree Society.
Oh, was that?
Yeah, that was the Tree Society got free use.
Okay.
I think the Hort Society has been ignored, and I don't think they're too happy about it.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if we need to recognize them in a way as an appreciation for taking care of our gardens. Because they're the ones
Absolutely.
that have been doing it.
Absolutely.
And we need to get them access if we expect them to, or hope for them to take care of our gardens. They need to get access to water somehow.
Mhm.
Obviously.
Absolutely. Good. Okay. So why don't we go ahead and do that then? If anybody'd like to make a motion then to say that the Hort Society should be welcome back into the use of the facility at zero cost.
I'll make that motion, Jeremy.
I'll second it.
Good, thank you. Thank you. Excellent, and then we can get that out to the hopefully it'll bring up a nice positive relationship then.
Yeah, they've been taking care of our place for a long time.
Yeah.
Good. Well, glad you got your ear to the ground there, Anthony. That's good to hear. Thank you. So moving on then to the new business or current business. Couple of items here that are actually closely related. The first two being rental rates and then the laptop computer. The rental rates were sent out. Did anybody get a chance to look at those? You may notice that it started back in the day right at the origin and then kind of skipped up every couple of years to 2018. So it would be quite appropriate, I think, if we set a schedule up for 2021 rental rate schedule, if you think that that's the right thing to do, for sure. Any thoughts on that? That's in looking at it, there's certainly areas I think you can take a look at that would say, like the commercial rates or those might be the ones that are from organizations that are better funded. So maybe we don't need to feel quite so sensitive about, whereas the local groups may want to continue. And Tom?
I think we decided a year or 2 years ago or whatever, we did raise some of the rates already. I mean, that's a couple of years, but.
Yeah, so like, as I say, the schedule goes back to 2018. That's the last recognized. And maybe we could go through the minutes back from, yesterday till 2018 to see if we had actually gone ahead and done any rate increases, but hadn't recorded them. That's the danger, I guess, that may have happened. If Sarah hadn't got these, then obviously they wouldn't have been embedded in the new pricing schedule. So it looks to me like these are tables within the booking system that, picking the current year, it just populates the particular event in its, category. So. Patty?
Thanks. Okay, I recall when we did back in 2018, put the rates up a little bit. So I do have a memory of that. I think that the rents have always been we've always wanted to keep them attractive as a not-for-profit. And so that it was open to all community members to be able to use the space and have it affordable. So, and at this point in time, I'm not certain what the sense would be of putting the rents up right now, especially with the current conditions are still in place. The other thing that I wanted to mention, I'm not sure if I came in late in the discussion of the computer. Have we discussed the laptop yet?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, that I think will come up in discussion in terms of the overestimation generally thought of managing the rentals of this space. And I think that because I've been running a bed and breakfast for 7 years now and doing it quite well using Outlook and Excel, it's just not worth the expense of having to look at purchasing a laptop and buying a software program.
Okay.
For 5 years, we've been waiting for the township to do something, and with the false promises of it, and they keep putting it off. And I think that we can keep that Band-Aid on there and just, and I would say that for the booking person who is supposed to be doing it, they must have a computer at home that they
Can we just hold this off so we can finish that other item? Because this is the next item on the agenda.
Okay, fair enough. I think the rentals should be just left well enough alone right now.
Brian, a question for, is this rental subject to HST?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing there's odd numbers in here that make it look like it's kind of, so it's trying to round up to something with HST included.
Yeah, right. The HST is added to the rent cost. I agree with Patty in terms of the current rates. Can we just leave the current rates as are for the remainder of this year and look at revising rates starting January 2022 if we wish to revise them, and if so, do it at that time. We're only looking at the tail end of this year. We've already got some agreements in place with the church, and I believe Debbie Hill has had 2 or 3 inquiries and someone actually booking using current rates or the rates that she generated the rate herself. So I suggest we simply keep the rates we have for the remainder of the year, but look at possibly changing them as of January of next year. Can I move that, or?
I don't think you need to move it.
Yeah, because we're not making any changes, but if we could take that to mind, that we're going to do it in next January, good. Unless,
Agreed.
Anthony, yeah, quick.
Do we have anything to compare our rates to? Other halls, or even say, I don't know, something in Barrie? Do we have anything to compare them to? They look a little low. I mean, for commercial rates, social res, I don't understand who is
Yeah.
considered commercial.
Brian may have your answer there.
That's a good question. I have no idea what they base the rates on. I suspect that, as Patty said, they tried to keep them low for community use. I don't know what the other halls charge. I don't know if we've ever looked at that. The only comparison, Anthony, I would think is that the revenue that we receive from the rates versus our expenses. And we receive usually 30,000 plus a year from rental revenues. Some years higher than that. And that gives us $2,500 a month to cover expenses. And our expenses are probably $1,500 a month. So we're a not-for-profit, so we're covering our expenses. That's about the only comparison I think that was made, that the rents cover what our costs are. Beyond that, I don't know.
Well, if we defer, it'll give us a good opportunity to do that comparison, Anthony, and that's a great idea. We should do that. But I think we could rest assured that at this point, these rates are now 4 years old. So one would assume that these are relatively competitive, if not extremely competitive. So
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
All right. And
that was the reason I had put it here to talk about. But sure, let's leave it till the 2022. Okay, next item then, laptop computer. Purchase for a rental business. So we had seen the submission, the cost. This was by, I forgot who was that, Brian? That
Donna Bailey?
Donna, sorry.
Donna Bayless. Bayless.
Yeah, Donna Bayless. And when I was reading it, there's a bit of ranges of things in there, range of cost, and certainly some questions that in terms of licensing that I've experienced, and I'd certainly have a few things I'd want to explore. But anyway, with that, any discussion? Here, go ahead.
Oh, I'm in complete agreement with Patty. She's run a successful business, as stated, for 6-7 years using the program that she has currently. I think it's a moot issue.
Brian?
I would agree as well. In terms of the program that we've been using, I don't really know very much about it. And when I talked to Sarah, she doesn't seem to know much about it. From what my own experience has been that it seems to generate an invoice, which tracks any deposits and identifies the amount owing. Beyond that, that program does nothing else. It doesn't track the rentals. It doesn't track the money that's paid and the money that's still outstanding. I have spent hours going over a year or two of rentals, identifying rental contracts that have not been paid, but the event has taken place. And with Sarah has then tracked down those people and got that money, some of it over a year old. There were still 2 or 3 outstanding. We're not going to collect that money because it's just too old. I don't even know if those people are around, but this program isn't particularly useful as far as I can see. We have a rental sheet that lists the rates, and Microsoft Word, Excel, QuickBooks will generate invoices and track them for you. So you can call up a report immediately. All those things are available on any laptop. We don't need to, purchase a program to run this. The only part would be the payments, and payments can be done by e-transfers or PayPal or something. I don't know. We're going to have to look at that. But I think we simply go with the rental rates that we've presently got and generate our own invoices and do our own tracking. So I would agree, and Patty has already said that she's running her business that way, and I don't see why you wouldn't. And QuickBooks has a great program, and we can get QuickBooks for nothing. The township will provide it for us. That's what I'm using for our books. I have my own copy, and they gave me a copy, so I use theirs, but it's all there. I don't know, this program to me, and I looked at what Donna had written, and I didn't understand any of it, but I don't see the need to pay money for a program. And the other question is the laptop. The minimum cost is going to be about $600, and I'd rather not spend any money right now. If the booking person, Debbie, is doing it, Debbie could use her laptop for this purpose right now until we decide further. Now, it also seems to me at the last meeting that Patty and Linda were going to oversee the rental stuff. And I don't know, Patty, were you clear on that, or?
I offered to help, and no one's reached out to me, and I just actually, I returned on the 31st of May and did a self-quarantine for 14 days. So I'm just finally sprung. And, but that being said, my cell phone works, my landline works, and I get email, and I haven't heard from anybody. And I think that's something that it's hard because I don't know who this person is. And I'm just here running my own show, but I'm watching what's going on at the station, and I'm thinking, it's too easy. It's being over accentuated what is very simplistic. And thankfully, Brian, if you're familiar with QuickBooks, and we send invoices by PayPal, then you can get reporting done through PayPal that integrates with QuickBooks, and it's an easy peasy. This isn't a big job. There's only 3 rooms there, and as I'm pretty much dealing with the same kind of thing myself. So I'm hoping that this will close the book on the expense of buying any software or laptop. I think anybody that was employed for the job of being a reservation manager should have a computer, and it should have been part of their, requirement that they have the tool to work with to do the job. They're going to do the job. So I don't know whether or not she doesn't, or somebody wants to conceal the idea that she has one, but she doesn't really want to use it. And it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. That's the way I feel.
Yeah, I think the point is what you're saying is we don't know if Debbie has a computer, is that it?
She does. I believe she does. I think the point of buying a laptop was that we felt the station should have the station reservations and information all on its own laptop, so that if the booking agent changes, we simply take the laptop and give it to the new person. And that was based on the idea that there was this program, this rental program that would keep track of everything. But I don't think that program is particularly useful, and it doesn't track the rentals. It doesn't give you reports in terms of how many rentals and the amount of money you've made from those each month and what may be currently outstanding. You don't get that at all from it. I've never seen it. I think you're right. Debbie does have her own laptop, and she could keep the records on that. And when we want information, she could put it on a UBS stick, and that's the portable thing that goes.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Brian, but you don't even need that. There's something called Google Drive that I've been using to share invoices with the people that are doing work for me. And the Excels are shared on the internet, and you don't even need, so you don't, it's all virtual. Anyway, that's,
Okay, excuse me.
Karen wants to say something.
Per, are you there? Have you
Per?
frozen?
Oh, maybe he's frozen.
They're frozen.
Maybe he's trying to make peace with everyone.
How?
How?
Yeah.
Careful.
Okay, Per, could you
You're right.
move your head? Or,
There he is.
Hear me?
Yeah.
perfectly.
So I think it was discussed in a previous meeting that the reluctance that Donna had to use her own computer was she didn't want to confuse her business with our business. And I think to that end, Barry advised that he could check with the township that they likely would have a computer kicking around that we could use and not require purchasing one, should one be required.
I did check Per with him at the last time I saw him recently, and he said none was available from the township.
Is that John?
Which is too bad. Tom,
This program or whatever doesn't need a tremendously sophisticated laptop, does it?
No.
No.
well, depending what you mean sophisticated, but
Well, able to run the Excel or
yeah,
QuickBooks or whatever.
Yeah.
Just that's its purpose. Just get one that does that.
yeah. Yeah, I think there's great merit in having a station on the green computer. I think it's got, it's our business, and she's just operating the system. And we can configure the system, and however, Patty's set it up. Maybe we could ask her to help get the thing organized, because everything's easy until you say, let's get doing it, and then there are all the bits and pieces to connect together. And yeah, go ahead, Per.
Oh, geez.
So just to add,
Yes.
should the future include a new door to the building? If you will recall
Sorry, Per.
that we got from your booking system.
Okay, say it again, please. The whole thing.
Ontario Alarms, in their quotation, which included the replacing of the front door, should we decide at some point in the future the door actually has to be changed, their quote included a computer.
Yes. That would, though I think it would be required that reside there to perform.
No.
No? Okay. So that's the potential. And if we could get an interim use of Debbie's computer, And when Patty's back, if we can ask her to help configure it.
Yeah, like, I'm not saying we have to use QuickBooks, but Excel is fine. Even Word has invoicing capacity, and schedules can be done in Outlook, Calendar, or, depending on the system you have, whether it's a Mac or a PC. All these things are available, I think, on most laptops. We don't need a special program.
No, it's just configuring it, Brian, to
Yeah, but
connect.
even that's pretty straightforward, really.
Yeah, I know it's straightforward, but it's got like there, it just isn't there that it automatically spits out rates and invoices and schedules. Like it needs like some form of structure, get it operative, right? So what I'm suggesting is that Patty might be the person to help do that. Or did you want to do it?
Not me. We had passed a motion saying Linda and Patty were going to oversee the rentals at the last meeting. So I think, give them the chance to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, good. Well, in Patty's absence, then why don't we just decide that then she can, because I don't think Linda would be quite as aware of doing whatever's necessary, but Patty, everybody just decided unanimously that you would be the best candidate for setting this up with Debbie.
And Linda would be happy to.
You never leave the room where they start talking about you.
Exactly.
And you were going to buy the laptop computer for Debbie too.
I'm going to buy one.
You're in charge now.
I have 3 dead ones I could donate. I just, but that, I'm happy to help Debbie. I'm going to be around for at least next couple of months, so we can get something set up in time for when it needs to activate.
Right, perfect.
And,
Okay.
and Linda would be happy to introduce you to Debbie and help facilitate that. I've talked to Linda.
Okay, you talk to Linda and you can introduce us.
Okay, good. All right, so that's a good action point, and I think we can take that as a item that we can follow up with at the next meeting. Perfect. So you think you can get that underway then imminently?
Speaking to Patty,
Yes, Patty.
I would invite Debbie to come out to my place and we'd sit down and I'd show her what my system was and we could duplicate it to set it up for her on her own computer. And hopefully that would be an hour and a half, 2 hours max.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be the best thing. And I'm vaccinated, I'm negative COVID, and masks galore. So.
Okay, so yeah, that sounds great. And then I think
well, you know what? You can just give me the phone
because,
number, I'll call her. Like it doesn't have to be formal, right? Does somebody have Debbie's phone number?
Because Debbie's got a working knowledge now of the current booking system, she can find any gaps, and you can help to resolve those.
Yeah, I looked at the current booking system when I first came on board here with Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so anyway, she's got working knowledge of it though, and that's great. All right, good. So is that,
phone number?
Can you take that action then, Patty, and extend an invitation to Debbie to do that?
Certainly.
Patty,
I've got an email address for her. I'll send her an email personally.
Patty,
Yes.
I will email you that information.
That's great. Thank you. Consider it done.
And be sure to keep Linda really included in all that stuff, would you?
Consider it done.
Thank you. Sounds good. Look forward to hearing about it. Now, the third item is about,
Jeremy,
yes,
sorry. Before we move to the third item, since we're getting geared up again for rentals, and since Debbie Hill will be the rental agent to begin with, we should discuss payment for doing that. My understanding is she's had 3 contacts, and I think 2 rentals have been agreed to, and the 3rd contact was information. And this may be ongoing. She may now be getting calls on a regular basis about rentals. So I think we need to start thinking about how we're reimbursing her for doing this. Previously, when the Echo did it, we paid them $202 a month to do bookings. We're not doing that volume right now. We probably won't be doing that volume. Hopefully in the fall we start, but in the meantime, she may be getting the odd booking here and there, and whether we pay her like a 15% booking fee or something for each, but we need to think about how we're going to reimburse her and be ready for that.
okay. So did you have any, other than the percentage, any other ideas on that, Brian?
Well, since there's very few bookings right now, so paying her a monthly rate to me doesn't make sense. It would make more sense to pay her perhaps a percentage of the booking fee in the interim until we're open and bookings start up in earnest, in which case then we can move to a monthly amount that makes sense. So I would suggest.
The only trouble with that method is that there could be a lot of inquiries, a lot of discussions, as you know how the process takes. People inquire, they need to look at the site. They then decide or not decide on it. And, that's her effort going into it. So I think we should compensate her. When did we cut off the 200 fee to the Echo? Recall?
Oh, you asked me that. Okay, quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Might have been
I think it
2020.
Last fall,
Yeah.
I think it was last October when Sarah officially resigned.
Okay, so
And I agree with Jeremy where you're going with this. I think we should be compensating Debbie the same as what Sarah was given, because there's the key distribution and being on call for whatever needs to be done to show the hall, and the commissions on 15%. Let's say there's only 4 weeks in a month, she's going to make $30 or a week. It's not enough for the aggravation that she's going to have to go through. I think $200 a month for managing the booking system and showing the property is a good.
Yeah, I would agree. And like, for instance, to begin in July, things are going to be starting to open up, and the gardens will start to be taking shape. And, I think by August, September, it certainly will be in, full bloom there. So, the option is to begin it in July, give her a fee of, I would say $200.
Yes, I agree. And the other thing is, I'm not going to be able to get together with her. I'll hopefully be able to get to her within the next 10 days. We've got the long weekend coming up pretty quickly. July 1st is coming up in 2 weeks' time. And it's in the middle of a week. But I agree with you, Jeremy. Let's start officially paying her the 1st of July.
Well, would you like to make that motion then, Patty?
Sure, I present the motion that we retain Debbie Hill at $200 a month for managing the booking and showing the station on the. Anthony, is that a hand up?
Yes, if you're paying her $200 a month, it's $2,400. We're generating $30,000 a year. She's getting less than 10%. How about we give her an option? Because when revenues do start coming in, she can actually make more than the $200 a month. I think.
I love your generous nature, Anthony. I'm going to reply to it, and that is, travel agents that no longer do make any money, unfortunately, only make 10%. And let's say booking.com or these booking businesses, their online systems are charging 15%.
Right, but she's doing more than just booking. She's managing.
But it's a small town and we're not making any money.
And showing the place. So I'm just thinking that 200, I think she can make more on a percentage basis, and we're not going to lose when there is no fees and we don't know what's going to happen. I think a percentage might be a better deal for both of us.
Well, I'm not a mathy person, but I quickly looked at, let's say, example of weekend, $200 to book the hall, and you get 8 weeks through the summer. She's only going to be making $30 per $200 on a 15% commish. So that's not enough incentive. Sounds nice, but I think we're better off giving her a flat rate.
She's also going to get a percentage of the church booking.
You know what? This could open up for discussion again. Like at this point, she would be, for the next 5 to 6 months, she's going to be struggling on a percentage basis. But the 200 would certainly incentivize her, I think, to get seriously into it. And then we can open the talk. I think it'd be nice as one event to actually have Debbie on here, and she could present to us the booking system, what she's finding, the pros, the cons, how we don't hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak, on these. And Sarah, I'm not sure if you had heard from her, but I didn't. So
good point. Now, I think I agree with you, Jeremy. I think that Debbie should be reporting. She should attend these meetings to report every month on what the status is. Is Sarah Hershoff still on the board here?
No, she resigned, and that's why the quorum is now a smaller group.
Okay. I agree. Debbie should be invited to these meetings to give us a report monthly on how many inquiries she's receiving and what her, take the temperature of what potential business we might be able to get.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
sorry.
Yes, Brian.
Can I suggest we do the 200 a month amount starting July as suggested, and when we review the rates for next January, we also review how we reimburse the booking agent. But she will have had some experience by then. She'll know how much work's involved, and gives us a better picture of what we should be paying her.
So that's a friendly addition.
Friendly amendment, yeah.
Friendly amendment to Patty's motion. So do we have a seconder?
I've motioned it, so.
You motioned it. Yes, Patty did. Yeah. So seconder is Pear. Good for you. There, and his hand went down.
Patty.
It went down.
Good. So that's fabulous. Now, the other point is a follow-up point to this, that the idea of having Debbie to attend, why don't we just ask Linda on that? I'll pass a note to her, and it'd be nice to, I think, just share that with Linda first, but so she could help make that happen also. Because I think so far she's had the closest contact with Debbie.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see who Debbie is.
Yeah.
I don't even know who she is.
Yeah, there you go. I think you'll be quite impressed. She's a very good person.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more chicks around here.
Yeah. Okay, moving ahead then on that great note, the community church. Oh, sorry, before we did that, Brian, did that address your point four point that, or did you have something else to add? Remember we added a 8.4 to your discussion?
That was the follow-up to the discussion we had around the agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And you had the Clearview Community Church preceding that, so.
Okay. All right. So this was an item I had asked to have added. And really what it was is I think a fairly straightforward, simple idea to, in the past, what's happened was Clayton would say they want to have the church available to them, and it would take the board some time to gather and agree to it, and it would happen, I guess, for the most part. And then it got taken away when it turned from orange or to orange. And then now it looks like, of course, everything's going to be opening well, but we're not hearing quite so much from Clayton. So what I'm proposing here is that we make an agreement or an understanding or a motion that the church can come back in anytime at their discretion when they wish. And it's more of an invitation to them, so we can reach out and say, this place is for you whenever you want, to get it, so that we don't keep them sort of hanging and being a little elongated in making our decisions for them. Brian?
Right. We already have an agreement with them as of February 17th, 2021, this year, that they've agreed to rent the station from April 1st, 2021 until March 31st, 2022. Those dates, though, are dependent on COVID and the station being open. And so obviously it's not going to start April 1st, but when the station's open and they wish to resume, that's when it will start. And the annual cost they're paying is $7,416.24, not including HST. So we have an agreement in place, and Clayton has indicated that they're perfectly happy to wait until COVID is to the point where they feel safe going back into the station. So that invitation has already been extended. It's open right now to them. We're just waiting. I guess they're waiting to hear, when is the station opening? When will it be safe? And we're waiting to hear from them. When do they feel that they're ready to start up? So as soon as we know that, everything else is in place for that.
So the moment we call him, or we can phone him tomorrow, and he knows that, does he? Does he know that also?
Yes. There's been a series of emails between Linda and Clayton.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was unbeknownst, and why I brought this up was only to keep it as a warm point of contact and encourage their use of the station. So, okay.
I think that's a good point, Jeremy, and not just the church, but also with the Dallas and E3 and any of our other long-term rentals. It's probably a good idea to just get in touch with them and give them an update on where things are. I think that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. No, good. Yeah, because we've gone into the background. Per, did you have a question, a point?
No. Thank you.
Okay. Good. So Then there's the next point, Brian, that you wanted to bring up.
Yeah, there were a lot of, I think, issues that came about from our discussion around the agreement. From what Terry Vachon, the information that Terry gave us, the information that Mayor Measures gave us, and Stuart, and also reading that agreement. When it was given to us, I think that was the first time anyone on the board actually saw it, even though it was signed quite some time ago. There's very little input from us. To my recollection, we were never asked. As a result of a board direction, Linda and I did attend a meeting with the former CAO expressing our wishes to be involved in any agreement to be made between the township and the foundation. And we were assured that our interests would be looked after, but after that, we heard nothing. There's a number of things in the agreement that I think are still need to be clarified. I thought Terry was going to send clarification of something. I haven't seen it. I may be wrong on that, but I thought he did indicate he was going to do that. There was a mention that he said a good idea to have monthly meetings between the station and the township and the foundation. I haven't heard anything further on that, whether that's actually going to happen. And Terry mentioned they have yearly meetings with the foundation, but I have no idea when that starts and whether that could include anyone other than just the township and the foundation. And also we just talked about the management board of the foundation being the arbiter of any disputes between events being held at the village green and events being held at the station, that should they conflict, the management board of the foundation would be taken to them and they would mediate it and their decision would be final, which would overrule any decision that we had made regarding our rentals. And to me, there's some serious questions there, and I think we need to sort of figure out where we stand going forward in terms of all of this. Or maybe it doesn't bother people, but I've got some concerns with it. Oh, and also, Jeremy, the agreement says the township's responsible for the fountain and the waterworks, maintaining those. And when I read that, that simply means we're back to looking after the fountain and the waterworks again, because the station's done it on behalf of the township.
Yeah, that was a mysterious comment to me. That was a very odd thing that Terry said and agreed to. And I thought that it only could mean that they're insuring the thing or whatever. But no, we've been through that so many times with Stuart asking about that question and being convinced that it was all their thing. But anyway, yeah, you know, if there's ambiguity, well, let's remove that. I think let's get that it all sorted out. Hey, Tom.
Yeah, I can't see how there's going to be conflicts actually if the board management, Debbie, I guess, and the station on the green, whatever that other management board, if they get together before they make any decisions, there won't be any conflicts. You know, I mean, if they find, if Debbie finds out that they have something going on, July the 30th, and she was going to have a wedding, or she'll just say, no, we can't have that because there's already something going on. If they're in contact with each other, I don't see why there should be any conflict.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Per, go ahead. No, sorry, we're not hearing you, Per.
Tom, are you hearing me now?
Yes.
Partly.
No. We cannot operate the station on the green based upon having to check and confirm
Okay, sorry, Per.
with the village
It's not
people
coming
whether
through.
they have an event going on.
Per, try to turn your camera off. Sometimes that allows for the audio to work better.
Okay, can you hear me now?
But
Yes,
your
you can.
camera's still on. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so my point being, we cannot take bookings based upon checking with the village green people if they have an event going on. How does that make us look? And it doubles up on the effort of our booking agent.
Anthony.
Yeah, I don't understand how there's a conflict anyways. If there's an event going on in the village green and an event going on station on the green, what is the conflict? Why can't we have two events at the same time? What is the big deal? Is it washroom use? Is it parking? I mean, I don't see what the problem is. If there's an event going there and an event going here, it's a public park. It's not like we're not going to be allowed, people won't be allowed to walk through the park or take a picture in the park or whatever. I mean, maybe Terry can clear that up for us. Is there's going to be a problem? Is that going to be because of parking, washrooms? I don't see a conflict at all, really. We should just be able to book whenever we want to, and they can book whatever they want to.
Per, any comment to that?
No, I just think we have to be able to operate independent.
Mhm. Right, which Anthony is.
That's what I'm saying. We should have no concern about their bookings because they're not booking our station. So
In the event that I think would be of concern would be a major something that's going to take place, like
copper kettle,
sorry.
the copper kettle, thing. That would be a big one.
Yeah, like the copper kettle, and if that's well publicized, well known, and everybody would work with that information, and correspondingly we would book, I think, letting people know that there's a big event. And
we've never had a problem in the past.
No, not at all. And so if I tend to believe, agree with both you that there's very little that could
I
come
think
through.
I think the only concern will be that their board or whatever that can apparently that clause that says they can decide
Yeah.
that that we can't book us an event because they have something going. That's where our main concern is. We need to get rid of that somehow. That they can't have.
They can't do that.
Not say we can't book because they're doing something.
I think that's kind of a lawyer's take on something, that there always has to be consequences and there has to be a final decision basis. So I think that's all that is referring to. But I agree that why should it be the way it is stated? Perhaps if it were our decision or something that we can soften or take that out. But I think you will hear from them that they would never interfere with us, although it says they could.
Yeah. A notwithstanding clause will never be used.
Oh, that's exactly. Yeah, so it's a shame we're not seeing your nice face, Per, but does that satisfy? I know what your point is, though. I think it should be brought up again. Just as
you can't see my face because the host has disabled the video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. Sorry, Pear.
Supply a picture pair of yourself and they can insert that there. So
Jeremy, are
Same
you,
result.
are you enjoying the power?
smiling.
You know,
okay, so Brian, so to your point, I think that what the action, do you feel that we want to let's have another meeting with them with Terry and get an update? I think that might be the appropriate thing.
we could put that on July's agenda. People could take a look at everything again and then maybe get an update from Terry at that point. If we've got questions or any concerns, we can discuss them at that time.
Yeah.
Can I say something about, I'm sorry, I have, I just wanted to say that I went over to the station yesterday and I had a look at what they're doing, and Acapulco Pools is on site. If anybody else has been looking at this and watching this, then they'll see, but they're way behind. Like we'll be lucky to have them finished by October. I think this, let's not rush the brush on this one. I think let summer go by and then wait until they start looking like a semblance of a functioning place. And then we'll talk about how we're going to marry ourselves back, because we divorced them through the initial process. And I'm not going to speak any more on that, but I think that what we need to do is let them settle what they're doing first. And they may come online with wanting to use our Debbie. We're going to have a Debbie in place in July, and they're going to need somebody when they're finally functioning. And there's no doubt about it that these places are Siamese twins. There's going to be continual conflict until we can figure out how we're going to work symbiosity, to use Jeremy's term. That's my humble opinion, guys.
Yeah.
Others might say, Patty, it's better to nip it in the bud. That's the other approach, to talk about it with Terry at the next meeting and just like see where that whole agreement has evolved or what the emotion has come out of it from others. And we don't need to make a fuss of it at the next time. So like if we just listen to the update, we might feel better or worse. And then if feeling worse, we can pursue it.
But I'm not going to be here in July. I think people are taking holidays in July. Are we actually going to have a meeting in July?
Not going anywhere.
Please God, aren't you ready to jump the gate?
If it's a Zoom meeting, it doesn't matter where you are, because as long as you have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm anyway, it's not all about me. I'm just saying that July is a month that is summertime, and with this Village Green project nowhere near completion in July, to ask Terry about something that he's answered to last month is premature.
But he still has some open items, Patty, that he hadn't gotten back on. And this might jog his mind. Okay. I think it's good to keep that contact close.
If you believe so, then I'll bow to that. I have no
Don?
other opinions on it.
Keep the meeting open, and then if you need to, you cancel it.
Yeah,
Okay.
good. Okay, so that satisfy your, Brian? If we go ahead and have that meeting, then bring up any of those ancillary points or the important points.
I think it would be good to have an information update, and then if we have any points at that point or questions, that's just to keep it active.
Perfect.
And I agree with Patty, probably not a lot's going to be happening till the fall. So probably in September, October, we might have more to discuss at that point, but I think it's still good to hear a report and to let Terry and the township know we're alive and well.
Exactly. I think that's an important part to keep that going, what has already started.
And it would be great to have the booking system in place.
By then.
Yes, exactly.
Has a phone been forwarded to Debbie's cell?
Sorry, what?
Has the telephone from the station been forwarded to Debbie's cell?
Yes, it has.
Oh, good. So look at that. She's already getting bookings.
Mhm.
So she's made
Thank
two
you
bookings.
for that, Brian. Thank you.
She's 2 bookings she's made plus an information call. Last I heard, there may be more since then. I don't know.
Great. And when did you finally get that phone forwarded?
A little while ago, I can't remember the exact date, but I phoned Rogers. I hate phoning phone companies like Rogers and Bell. But I actually got through to someone and we just did it over the phone. So it's done. And then I followed up with Debbie and I phoned her using the station number and she answered the phone. So it's working.
And so in approximately how many weeks she got how many inquiries? That's what, I'm looking for.
Well, when you talk to her, you can get that information. I don't have it.
Okay.
And then you can prepare
A report.
for
Actually,
attending.
Patty, if you call the station number, Debbie will answer.
Yeah, I mean,
Great suggestion.
great. Okay, so any other points of discussion? Anything you'd like to bring up? None? Okay, good. All right, so that then concludes the new business, and the next meeting is with or without Patty on July the 21st. And so I guess at this point then, this is it. We'll adjourn. And thank
Nicely
you.
done, Jeremy.
Thank you very much for all attending. That's been a good session.
Well done, Jeremy.